Man, I love r/Pokey investing so much. I love Pokemon Reddit posts just in general, especially ones like this, unfortunately. It's the great equalizer. It's the stab in the leg that reminds you that you're human. Like me and you, we can sit here, we look at this post, right? We know this order. We know exactly what this order feels like. We know exactly how bad it was when we got it. We remember the cards that we got when this happened. We know how pissed off we felt. We get this order. We don't have to say anything at all. We don't even really have to do. We can just look at each other and be like, "Yep, this is the connection of everyone in the Pokemon hobby space that at some point has purchased something through TCG Player or Troll and Toad or Instagram or eBay or something. Everyone knows this order. I got one kind of recently where I purchased a Japanese single, right? I got one of the SAR cards from Japan, and it was fucking in a top loader without a goddamn sleeve in it. That card was shredded. The corners were all messed up. The back of it was scratched as hell. And it was that, this order. You know what this is. You know what this looks like. And we, as a fucking community, can all relate to this in some ground level. We're going to talk about it, though. I feel like making a Reddit video today. Yeah. I feel like doing it again. If you don't like that, you can go away. That's perfectly fine. How TCG Player seller shipped my order. That's, yeah, and look at that. As we can see, they got the sleeves right. They made sure to protect it. They made sure to wrap it before you ship it, before you tap it, right? And they dropped them in there. There's about 13, 14 cards in here. Let's read what they had to say. Trying to complete 151 Master Set. That's the set to complete, am I right? That's got all the nostalgic Pokemon and all the true investments, all the big boom plays that are going to happen later on. I ordered 13 Near Mint cards. Cards were thrown in an envelope with only ETB sleeves that weren't fully put on. I don't know how they weren't fully put on. They probably were on, but through transit and going in the mail bag and then being moved around, they probably slid out. I do get what you're saying. They probably wiggled their way out, but at some point, they probably put them in there. Cards were bent, heavily curved, and edges for many cards were damaged. This is unacceptable, right? See, this is where people start getting into like weird, stupid debates. See, I think this is unacceptable. I truly do. How much does it cost to actually get two top loaders, put all your cards in between the two top loaders, and then fucking buy a roll of masking tape and just tape those together? Like, if I ever like move some singles or something like that in order to trade for more singles, that's always what I do. I get two top loaders. If it's like 15 cards or something, I put it in between them. I make sure they can't move, and I fucking masking tape it together and put it in between some cardboard and ship it off like that, making sure that it's wrapped if it needs to be bubble wrapped. There's ways to do this without being a complete asshole. This is unacceptable. There's some people like, well, so they gotta pay. If you only paid $1 in shipping, then I mean, this is perfectly fine. This is what I think is acceptable. And this is the problem with buying from certain people on certain websites, is there really isn't like a standard like what I described, where they need to be top loaded, they need to be protected, they need to make sure that they're not going to get fucking bent or damaged in trans or something like that. This is not always the standard that all people hold. I think a large portion of the community holds a standard, but you're going to get sellers where they don't necessarily think this. They think that this shipping stuff is worth like 7, 8, 9 extra dollars, which sure, shipping does cost more, but why don't you just put that in the price of the card? Just say like it's like fucking add $4 to the actual card total and just say fucking $16 shipped instead of $12 plus $1 shipping. Like, people will understand that. People will get where you're coming from with that. This is just ass. This is a thing I don't like seeing. As I said, I remember the order I recently got where it was exactly like this, and having to even ask if this is unacceptable is why I'm not really a big fan of using TCG Player, Troll, and Toad most of the time. I typically do buy from eBay, and I typically do buy from people on the Instagram community when they do little claim sales, and that's typically how I get most of my singles, and I do buy quite a bit of them. I actually bought a few things yesterday. I am extremely happy about one of those things. If you know, you know. And if you know, please keep it to yourself for the time being. I really want to be the person to show everybody what the hell I bought. I swear it's going to be an interesting topic. I swear it's going to be funny. Who and what it involves will also be a heavy player in as well. But, I mean, like, orders like that, people buy from who they buy from. People don't fucking trust certain websites, such as, like, those, because there are some sellers on that. Can you still rate against the TCG Player sellers? Yes. Are they allowed to dispute what you said, and they can make excuses like, oh, the shipping was this, they didn't pay extra for shipping? Yes, they can also do that as well, and they can actually get those actually removed from their record if they truly want to. eBay is not perfect either. It's just the evil I know. I know how to navigate eBay the best. I know how to fucking look and see see what's an actual red flag versus what isn't. Some people don't. Some people can navigate TCG Player and fucking Troll and Toad a little bit better than I can. I'm not really the best one. I can figure it out, but you always will end up with people that do crap like this. And it's just the ultimate, like, every person in a room, if they saw something like this happen, like, the collective sigh would just be like, because everybody knows. Everybody's had that order, and I don't think you're truly in the Pokemon community until you receive your first order like this. The first real shitty one where you have to realize, yeah, I'm dealing with grown adults here that don't care that I just sent someone money in exchange for cardboard. Here's what they did with my time. Here's what they did with my cards. Here's what they did with my money. And this is my reward for it. You can try to dispute it. Hopefully you can get your cards or your money back, because that's just unfortunate that happened. Top loaders, man, they're really not that expensive either. You can definitely get some. And if you're shipping a lot of cards, you don't want to put them in 15 fucking top loaders, which honestly, I mean, it's not that much either. You can sandwich them between two and put cardboard over that to keep them from getting curled and getting moved around and fucked. That's all I got. Appreciate it, Virgin. See you later. Man, I'm just thinking about those orders. I've gotten more than one, but the latest, that SAR, such a shame. I'm still pissed off at that seller. Fuck you, seller.